What's up, guys? JSB2 here. About to play some Canada in Kaiserreich. And this is my boy George. He's not long for this world, but his son Eddie. Eddie is about to rebuild the British Empire. Or at least rebuild it from Canada, or something like that. I think we want to be informed about major events, and we'll color our own puppets. So, Canada starts off pretty precarious, not as bad as their neighbors to the south, but they're not exactly in the best situation politically. But they definitely have the potential to recover in time for the Weltkrieg, and so much so that the AI normally does, which is good for us. What we're going to want to do is standard build orders here, just get our shit flowing. We're going to have trouble with manpower for pretty much the entire game. We're going to be able to see some territory, which will be nice to get our recruitable population base up. But it'll never be to a point where you can just spam out units. And while I will like to go tank shit doctrine at some point soon, we don't have early light tanks researched, and we aren't going to for a while. Canada just doesn't have the industry to support that. Or the tech to support that, and not only industry, we have plenty of industry to get us off the ground, but we don't have the advantage of a lot of resources. At least early on. We're going to be seizing a lot of resources quite soon from a certain unstable entity from our south. Again, so we're going to probably want to import shit from our puppets. And at least 24 steel is probably the best thing to do at the beginning. It'll give us something to build ships with, something to build all of our guns and artillery pieces with. It seems the French can fulfill our requests. We can turn the slider down and see if there's anyone else in our faction we can trade with, and we can trade with Australia. So that works. We get legation profits, I guess. So that's pretty good. So yes, our king has died. Entente is in a state of mourning. We can now do the new king's speech. The Imperial Conference is a super important event chain, but what the chain that's about to follow will be. We want to conquer Great Britain back from tyranny or whatever. It's going to give us free political power for supporting our allies, essentially. Okay, we don't care about this. King's speech. I think the best option's the middle one. And we'll join the war, though it doesn't really matter too much. And we're going to want to draft the bill. And, oh shit, we have a lot of political power. Okay, good. Easy do that. Now we have a lot more factories that are actually usable. I don't know why I was building in Northern Ontario. It's probably the best idea. I'll build... I don't want to cancel all construction. Yeah, here we go. But we just want to we want to finish up the factory here, and then focus on the regions that have industry. We're going to want to make this bill a bipartisan effort. I'm going to make Eddie the kind of autocratic king. We're going to want to side with the Tories to nationalize the economy. We just pretty much want to keep going with the Tories. Oh, fuck no. We want to go with the Loyalists. Whatever. I think we're fine still. Both these guys more or less do the same thing. I don't think it matters all too much right now who we side with. Not much is happening in the Entente at the moment other than the war of Afghanistan, but that's almost always won by India. It's nearly impossible for Afghanistan to win this thing. We do have fleet stationed down this way, because Canada technically owns the majority of the remnants of the British fleet. Though I think Australia also sees like a large proportion of it. It's probably patrolling at the moment, yeah. And the Union of South Africa split off from the Empire when it started to fracture. And I think I'm going to start researching Vickers. We're going to get a coin flip on who wins the Stanley Cup. America won. We're going to want to kill the bill and exercise royal prerogatives. Or assert royal prerogatives. And now, King Eddie can take power. Okay, hold on. Either put some guy in as air chief and gain some air buffs and lose political power, or we can just get political power. I fucking rarely use the Air Force, so I'm just gonna go for the political power. The sooner we can buy down our debt here, the better. And it's gonna be a while before we lose some of this shit. Because first of all, we need to assert the prerogatives, purge disloyal opposition, institute social credit, get the mandatory cadet corps. I don't know. We might not need to worry about the mandatory cadet corps quite yet. But I definitely want to purge disloyal elements. That's like #1 priority at the moment. Okay, next up, we're going to want to focus on industry. Probably synth oil too. Actually, that's not super important, but the rubber will be. The oil itself, we have sources to seize from. Namely in California and eventually all the Texas fields. We're really going to exploit the American Civil War. Hopefully, basically, we're going to be able to just seize all of New England freely. We're going to be able to seize all of California / West Coast easy. And then we're going to have to intervene pretty swiftly within the American Civil War. I'm pretty sure we'll intervene on behalf of the AUS and just steal states from them. We'll try to give them a fair peace treaty so like the resulting final annexation of all of America is kind of fair for them. And responsible government shall be led by the king. So Edward is in direct control of the government. Next, we're going to want to purge disloyal elements. So now we have a loyalist government. So that's going to hurt our political power gain even more than it already is. But you got to do what you got to do. This isn't the ability to make the strongest Canada, I'm pretty sure. Like, you don't really want them to be royalist if you want an uber-powered Canada, but I like the whole restoration aspect of the British monarchy. That's kind of cool. And it feels fun within the world of Kaiserreich. And we'll start pooping out more dudes. We're going to be hurting for supplies pretty soon. Or consumer goods, I mean. Though we are not consumer goods, we're going to be hurting on consumer factories. Though we're certainly not doing too great on consumer goods at the moment due to low stability. Very low stability, rather. Thankfully, it is slightly offset by partial mobilization. Though by purging the opposition, we're also going to get more of a malice towards our consumer goods, so it's going to be a bit tight for a little while. But that's okay. When we seize all of the American industry, we're not going to worry too much about our consumer good percentages. Alright, now we actually gain political power every day. That's actually necessary. Yeah, we're going to want to start doing defense of the realm as soon as possible. And then defense scheme 2. And we want to go into American excuse me, intervention as soon as possible as well. We're going to want to support that as well. We're going to want to support our... We're going to go into intervention in America. Building up forts along some line is not going to save us when the CSA is uber powerful. We're going to want to intervene early and often. But yeah, we'll try to start building up our tank industry. It's just going to be a hot while. We're just going to need the blueprints research first of all. But for the moment, we have enough manpower to overrun the Pacific states when they first split off from America. Garner was elected. Yeah, it's I think impossible for the Americans to prevent the Civil War. Because AI does sometimes manage to pull that off. It's just very rare. And activating this defense scheme will give us a nice amount of political power, which is very good for us. So yeah, basically we're trying to outline attacks for potential invasions into the American heartland. To be honest, Canada could probably overwhelm the US right now if we had the ability to. So I'm pretty sure the United States at the start of the game only has 5 divisions. And it is a bit worrying that they haven't split up into civil war. Fingers crossed this guy can't. This guy isn't going to keep the United States together. Alright. Come on. Fire the Civil War. Any day now. I feel like when he gets the Banking Act passed, he's going to get that Civil War. It should trigger any day now. I hope. More machine tools. Good. Construction. Good. Okay, we have our defense scheme activated. And we'll go into American intervention, so we're primed and ready to take over California. And we'll start building up some civilian industry. Here we go, finally. So any second, who's-McCall-it's? Okay. Yeah, what's his name split off? California split off. And we should get an event to seize things pretty soon. Activate Defense Plan 2. Bypassed. Oh, okay. Oh, come on. Why can't I intervene? Seize New England and seize Panama Canal. Okay, we stopped their advance, which is very good for us. We don't want a treaty with them. We might just have to manually declare war at some point, which is not ideal, but it is what we're gonna have to do. And we're not giving them any independence. We're gonna occupy New England for, well, for indefinitely. Seize Alaska, yes. Good. Very good. We should get an event at some point to spawn oil in Alaska. Now, fingers crossed, we'll get either the Californians seizing these states, which it probably won't, honestly, or the world's tension will get spiked to 25%. Because it'd be very dumb if I can't reclaim Oregon territory simply because the PSA doesn't control Idaho, Columbia, and Oregon. Yankee Rebellion. Yeah, whatever. Just shake our fist in the air, essentially. I think the issue... The New Englanders are now Canadians, obviously. So world tension is slowly growing. It's not at the rate that's ideal for us. Okay, hold on. So, yeah, I'd rather just have the straight up political power. Alright, we're gonna have mandatory enrollment instituted. Luckily, since we're paternal autocrat, we're going to be able to intervene relatively soon. What I may want to do is send volunteers abroad, because I think that'll spike the tension. Alright, so wars we could intervene in. Obviously the American Civil War. And we could just support the Union state and have the volunteers stagnate the front line as much as possible. Yeah, it generates threat, which I'm pretty sure... Oh, they refused our volunteers. That's dumb. Why? Oh, because we fucked with them. Okay. Any other wars we can intervene with, potentially? Just the Mongolian one, but that'll do it. Hopefully more war breaks out relatively quickly. And the syndicalist leader in Britain is dead. And he's been replaced by a radical socialist, which is pretty good, because the radical socialists tend to be kind of weak. Spanish Civil War just broke out, which is great for us, but I don't see any spike in world tension like there should be. That's frustrating. Oh, wait. We're so close. And we're going to call our expeditionary force, because they're just there solely to spike world tension. Come on. Oh man, it just keeps falling back. We need to intervene quite quickly. Well, yeah, we're not going to do the treaties, so it'll just be bad for us all around. Riots throughout. Well, we could demand Danish territorial possessions in the meantime. That would be an interesting thing to do. And it would spike the world tension for us. So we'll do some homecoming planning. We're getting close again. We'll just need some more wars to fire. Japan is starting to awaken, which is great. Hopefully they demand shit in the Pacific to piss people off. And good, luckily for us, the AUS seems to be seizing more territory than the CSA is. But that never amounts to much half the time. Because the CSA's core territory is just so valuable. Though by taking all this land here, we are putting a giant thorn in their side. I just realized I'll need political power to justify on America. So we'll have to save for that. Maybe I'll go into reinforce the empire next, instead of the demanding of possessions. Because by the end of that, we should have enough political power to at least be positive. Excavation has been completed, which is very ideal. Yeah, we're almost there in terms of tension. We'll just need the power. So we'll reinforce the empire. Hopefully that'll be enough. Show our strength. Yeah, we'll piss off the Union of Britain. Doesn't matter. I never really used naval experience, which is probably kind of bad of me, but eh. Yeah, we're gonna want political power. I don't know what that really does. I don't think it amounts to much, but oh, come on. We just need to go power positive. It needs to stay at 25%, and we need to go political power positive. We'll build up our industry for now. Damn. We are so close to being able to justify on them. Well, after we reinforce the empire, we can hopefully demand the possessions. Nepal declared war on the Dominion of India. If joining them enforces tension or anything, or boosts tension, we're going to want to do that. So yeah, go for it. New research slot, we'll put it into better research. Never a bad option. Oh, come on. We're so close. 17 more days and they can justify. It shouldn't fall that fast. Though, it is alarming how fast the Union State is expanding. Ooh, they do have forces in Idaho. I don't know if that counts towards just being straight up able to activate the defense scheme. It doesn't. That's... yeah, they have to own. And we gained cores. God damn it! The event fired right when I didn't want it to. And we're not sub 30, whatever. Well, we'll do God Save the King. Hopefully we can get in soon. Get power positive soon. Yeah, I need to build up before we take on the Union of Britain. The Veldskrieg should hopefully stall for a little while. And in the meantime, we'll be able to swoop in, take out the British Empire. Or not British Empire. What's this? Free political power. Yeah, of course. Hopefully, the American Union State can start thriving within the Civil War, as it seems CSA hasn't really seized that many territories. Oh, come on. So close. Just being able to press that button. Could have probably activated it sooner if I just didn't choose a focus, but I just don't feel good about doing that. I want to get through the focus tree, you know? But we're almost there. 20 more days. And we can seize California. And from there, we can seize the CSA. And from there, we can seize more and more, essentially. I should be building up more troops than I am. What am I doing? Our motorized brigades aren't the best, but they are nothing to, like, pass up on deploying. Oh my gosh, I should be producing a lot more units than I am. We have guns for days. We've definitely seized a lot of American industry already, and we've even seized California. Okay. Oh man, that hurts. The amount of time it takes to do that. Oh, well we can do the focus tree because they own, I guess, more than half of Idaho. So hopefully we complete it just in time. And we'll wait for ourselves to gain more political power, or be at war at least, before pressing any buttons. Because if we press a button that gives us extensive conscription, that'd be very nice. Because a million manpower is good, but it's definitely not at the level where we're just throwing... We can afford to just throw lives away, which is the level I like to be at. Of course, this focus is going to seem to take forever. Hopefully they can stall out in Idaho for as long as they need. Oh, Nepal's been... Okay, I see. Okay, hold on. I also need to pass a ton. Give it all to the Dominion of India. And that does nothing, because I don't understand how this fucking player red shit mod works. Hold on, TE debug. Tag. DEH. NXNEP. Tag can. Love console commands. I'm pretty sure I'm going to turn off my player-led peace conference mods pretty soon because it's not been doing anything good for me. Oh, I've already been playing as Canada. God damn it. Okay. So yeah, we're basically reasserting an ancient British claim to the region. What we need is for Idaho to stay divided between CSA and the USA. And it should hopefully, considering that the USA is fighting on several fronts and is losing relatively handedly. Oh, the Weltkriegs are fired early, which isn't... It's not good, but it's not super bad, considering the German Empire has a higher chance of winning the Weltkrieg the earlier game it is. I'm still pretty sure I'd have liked to have them wait until 1939. But you win some, you lose some. Alright, so we're gonna get into reclaiming Oregon territory soon. Okay. Next on the list is to threaten the CSA. What we might want to do is start justifying against them. That would take only 30 days. How long would it take to justify you guys? It'd probably take almost as much as just doing the focus tree. Wow. Increase in stability. So we're not exactly as far ahead